Hey everybody, I got some great video here of Mac O'Grady, absolute one of the best ball strikers of all time. I'm gonna play this through while I'm talking. Uh, his feet are open, his shoulders a little bit closed, and some joints that I'm going to point out here in a second. But watch the beautiful left wrist, so quiet and flat. And this is the CP model. Okay, so with Mac O'Grady, there's CF and CP. Centripetal force, which is concentric arc feeling of pulling and moving that handle around with rotation of the body, and the handle and shaft, handle and club header moving around at the same rate, which means if the club head is moving 1 inch, so is the handle, right? So it's a angled hinge here, or you can see the club face is at a 45-degree angle, which is very straight shots or slight fades. You can see that baby's taken off towards that pin down there. Um, and so there's all kinds of good angles here to watch. So you're going to have to watch this a few times when I put these angles in, which is super cool. I'm using this skeletal model for you. Now notice the feet are closed, but the knees, the blue dot there, right? The right knee is out more than the left, which means the hips are slightly open, moving the CG, the lower CG, the pelvis. If we were face onto him, would be a little bit back on the right shoe. Now immediately he starts to switch the knees to set the club on plane. He's using a little bit of wrist hinge, pivot, and elbow flex to get this club up on plane. A smooth blend of all. So you have choices in there, and he uses the whole cluster of those three movements just to get this thing going. Now, as we get to the top here, I'm going to move some of these lines out of there, but I just wanted you to watch this movement of the legs. See how they continue. They're never not moving. So immediately he starts to switch the knees of the red and blue dots, so the knees are switching. Now the knees are both flexed evenly. He gets to the top, the right leg straightens, the left knee goes out over the shoe, bending more, which gets the right pelvis side of the pelvis higher than the left. So that's that tilt, hip tilt there. Now the cool thing is when the knees flex back, the pelvis is now level, and now he's going to go into the extension. You can see how the legs have really straightened that left leg, and the right knee's out. Just at impact, we're going to see how open he is for the CP. Boom. Okay. So he's got the hips open, and it looks to be about 30 degrees, and the shoulders open, maybe 15, which isn't far off from where he was at address, really. But it's really cool to see these angles. Again, this skeletal action, we can go into the 202 number of elbow flex. All right, so we just watch what's going on there. Bending that elbow, 90 degrees there. And this is where it gets super interesting also. I'm going to take out the left arm. I'm just leave it in there. You guys can see through there. There's that 52 degrees, 45, 50, right? So the elbow has gone and began to flex to its maximum range. He says no more than 45, but prior to that, it's much less than 45 right in there. Okay, so you can see 21 degrees of right elbow flex, 20, 30, 38. Okay, so it's not bending in the full range right here. And this is how he gets that lag coming down right there. You see the change of direction. Amazing. Okay, now he comes down, right arm, still bent, left arm. And this is what I said, that shaft on the ground is always for him down there. So you could see where the handles, basically needs to feel like it gets to, it needs to come out at P5, which is when the left arm's level to the ground, and be feeling like it's over the top of that yellow or his stick down there. And then you keep pivoting to move the handle around in this concentric circle. Now the concentric circle of the handle and the club are something like this, kind of a even NASCAR is moving around the corner They never pass each other because they're both going around at the same speed. Okay, and that produces very straight to fade shots, which is what we're looking for with irons, right? Yeah, so I'm going to play this through, move out my lines for you guys so you can watch the angles change yourself, right? Now, one of the absolute masterclass things that we try to do as players is we try to what? Keep our head, keep our head quiet, which means if there is somebody holding, on the cap there, you'd say, hey, keep your head quiet, sir, as a coach, right? And it's absolute because central foveal vision is looking down at that golf ball. The central nervous system works with that. And so it's collecting all the data going, okay, we can kind of find our way home here if we don't move around too much. And you can see Mac is just on point. Now, of course, I'll draw the line back on the hip line here, guys, so you can just kind of see what's going on there. Play this again for you. And you can see the right hip's staying on the red line in the back, the head's on the yellow line. It seems the bottom of the spine down there by the lumbar. Now he pushes into extension, moving the hips off of the back line, going into the beautiful power move at the end there. So I'm going to get some more detail on this and just the intricacies of certain parts on another video, but I wanted you to see the overall action here. Magnificent. So study this, watch it a few times because you're going to be able to pick out your own things in here. I'll clear these lines out one more time for you. And I tell you what, I'll even take out the markers just so you can, there we go, right here. Super cool. Yeah, you're going to want to play this over and over, just slowly. Well, it's in slow motion, so that helps you guys. But anyway, leave some comments. Please subscribe if you would. It would help me with the channel and get this out to more people. And keep creating these great Mac O'Grady golf swings that are absolute models to kind of copy. And Zoom lessons are available. Just hit me up, paul@gormangolf.com, and we can set something up anywhere, anytime. All right, guys, thanks.